What's up? What's up? What's up, my Mind Your Money business folks? It's me yet again with another video of today's stock market news. And as always, hopefully you're in the market and not trying to time the market, because that is simply impossible to do. So hopefully you're not straddling the fence, which I say often, and you're investing into appreciating assets or paper assets like the stock market or yourself. Something that appreciates, that brings value over time. It's not everything, but it is something. So let's see what happened today. It says Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ waver as U.S. careens toward shutdown. Consumer confidence slumps. So if the government shuts down, the president's talking about firing a lot of people. Yeah, and I could be one of those people because I currently work for the federal government. So let's see what happened today. It says U.S. stocks wavered on Tuesday as investors weighed the likely fallout of President Trump's latest tariff blitz, and the U.S. government careened toward its first shutdown in 7 years. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell just below the flat line. The S&P 500 rose 0.1%, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite was little change, coming off modest closing gains on Wall Street. So markets are bracing for a government shutdown after Trump and Republicans met with Democrats in the Oval Office on Monday, but failed to strike a deal to avert a halt to funding. I think we're headed to a shutdown, Vice President J.D. Vance said after the meeting. The president's playing hardball. So lawmakers have until 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday to reach a last gasp agreement or see the first stoppage since 2019. Odds of a shutdown are near 93%, according to Polymarket. So for Wall Street, the concern is that the government's economic data releases will halt during a stoppage. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics will completely cease operations if it happens, the Department of Labor said, likely delaying the release of Friday's non-farm payroll report, among other top-tier data crucial to the Federal Reserve policy setting. A JOLTS update on September job openings released Tuesday could be the last labor market insight for the Bureau of Labor Statistics for some time. The report showed job openings rose more than expected. Hiring slowed and layoffs dropped, consistent with the low fire market that has taken shape in recent months. So in the economic data, an update on consumer confidence showed the Conference Board's measure dropping to its lowest point since April, in the throes of Trump's Liberation Day tariff salvos. Consumers expressed a dim outlook on the job market in particular, the report said. Meanwhile, Trump sent out a fresh flurry of tariff on lumber, timber, and certain types of furniture late Monday, hot on the heels of a threat of levies on foreign-made movies and last week's plan to put 100% duties on branded drugs. Concerns are growing about the impact on the global economy from Trump's ever-expanding trade offensive after new data showed China and Japan's factories are still caught in a slump. Wow. Wow. This is all very interesting. Is all I can say. What's happening right now is very, very interesting, scary for some, but interesting. Again, that's why you must invest. That's why you must get out of debt. even for those of us that work for the federal government. If you don't have an emergency fund in place, if there's a government shutdown, and if it goes on for a while and you don't receive a paycheck, can you survive? It's like you have to plan for things like this, not because bad things happen, it's because it's life. That's what getting out of debt, creating a budget, it's for. You're planning for life because nothing is certain. You can have a job today and it's gone tomorrow. You could be well today and maybe hospitalized next month. Are you prepared? Do you have your life insurance, or do you have any life insurance? Do you have any investments? Do you have any savings? Do you have an emergency fund? Are you out of debt? Because the more you have on the negative side, when you are met with life's challenges, the more stress it brings to you. But when you are prepared by having your life in order and your finances and your health, when life does throw you a curveball, hey, just move out of the way, let it go by, because you're going to be okay. So that is why I talk about investing and I talk about getting out of debt. So when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? It is what it is, because you can survive, but you must first have yourself together. You must have a plan in place. And again, that plan is called a budget. That's why you need to get out of debt, people. So let's see what happened today. The stock market just closed a few minutes ago. So SPLG, the S&P 500 ETF, gained 28 cents today, closing out at $700. I mean, I wish well, it will be $700 at some point, but it closed out today at $78.35. Meta lost $9.02 today, closing out at $734.38. Broadcom gained $2.01 today, closing out at $329.91. Palantir gained $3.56 today, closing out at $182.42. Tesla gained $1.51 today, closing out at $444.72. Tesla's doing really well. Nvidia gained $4.70 today, closing out at $186.58. FTEC gained $1.13 today, closing out at $222.29. Yeah, so even though, like, the headlines, right? Let's read the headlines again. Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ waver, right? As the U.S. heads towards a possible government shutdown. It's not the most positive headlines. A lot of headlines are not positive when it comes to the stock market. A lot of news is negative. Either way, you have to see through a lot of things and stick with your plan. Again, your plan of investing. The great Warren Buffett says, when everyone is investing is when you need to actually slow down. But when people are scared and they're pulling money out of the stock market, that's when you need to be investing. Because of why? What's the reason? Over the last 100 years, we can just go the last 50 years. This S&P 500 has brought back at least 10% return on your investment. So just think if you have been investing over the last 30 years and you've had this compound interest of 10% on your money that you've been constantly investing month after month, you would have a high net worth value or amount, right? Again, it's not all about money. Money is only one aspect of life. Everything's not all about investing. Again, it's just an aspect of life, right? But don't let money be one of the core issues and problems in your life if you can avoid it. Just like don't let your health be a major negative part of your life if you can help it. Eat healthier. Be more active. Exercise. So on and so forth. There are things that we can do and mechanisms that we can put in place to prevent certain things. There are some things that we can't. There are some things that we're born with that can't be changed when it comes to your health. Just because you're born in poverty doesn't mean that you need to stay there. So there are some things that we can change. And for those things that you can change, make the change. If not, then stay where you are and wish you nothing but the best. So, yeah. So I've talked earlier about, you need to get out of debt. You need to get out of personal loan debt. You need to get out of the car loan debt. You need to get out of student loan debt. You need to get out of credit card debt. Americans are trillions, like $18 trillion in debt. Debt. That's a lot of money. Now, the government's in 36 trillion, and you have the American people that are in 18 trillion. But there's a lot of money being made. You have these billionaires and probably these families, if you put their net worth together, it could be up to $1 trillion. You have BlackRock and Vanguard managing trillions of dollars. You have these hedge fund managers that are managing billions of dollars of investment. So how can all this money be made, but so many millions of people be in debt? And I believe it's because of the way that you're being educated, or you're not being educated. If you watch enough TV, which I don't watch regular TV, but when I remember when I did watch TV, every commercial was selling you something. When you listen to the radio, there are commercials to sell you something. These advertisers are spending millions and billions of dollars a year selling you stuff. A lot of the stuff you don't need. So there's a lot of us that are living way above our means because now you have social media. So we can put out there what we want people to think about us. You're going into debt. You're going on all these trips. You're buying all these name brand clothes to take pictures for people to look at you and assume certain things that may or may not be true. But as I get older, I now believe that no one really cares because people are so caught up in their own lives. They really don't care that much about me riding first class or me taking pictures of myself in different countries. It's nice and all, but a lot of times they're probably wishing that it was them. So too much emphasis is being placed on this stuff, and we need to reel it back in and start living below our means, especially while we're younger, so that your older years can be in peace. You will have that solid foundation beneath you. You don't have to worry about money. You've been keeping yourself healthy, and you can live out your later years, because one thing is certain. There's a lot of uncertainty in life, but one thing is certain. If you're born, there's a beginning, and then there's an end when you're going to die. But what's happening in that space between? How are you living your life? Are you living it in stress and worry and broke, unhappy, unhealthy? Or are you making the most of your time and living in a place like the United States where there are infinite possibilities, but we're wasting it? Well, I would say we, because I'm American too. I can see where we're wasting it on a lot of things that doesn't matter, or it's not that big of a deal, or a lot of things that we don't even understand, right? Instead of just focusing on yourself. That's why my channel is called Mind Your Money Business. Mind your money business, not someone else's. Don't count anyone else's pockets. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. Stop passing so many judgments on others, because to me, when you're passing judgments on others, that's something I have to remind myself of. I'm also passing judgment on myself. It's like there's something that I'm not looking at when it comes to me, is the reason why I have so much to say and why I have so much to not just say, but think about other people. Focus on mine. I need to mind my business. Mind your business, people. Mind the business that pays you. Focus on you. All right, so I'm going to end this video. So like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think, if you think anything at all. As always, I am not a financial advisor, nor am I pretending to be one. Any and all information on my channel is for entertainment purposes only. So please consult with a financial advisor before you invest any of your hard-earned money. So I'm going to end this video. Sorry, so you guys take care. Have a blessed day. Peace.